Stage. That's it. That's better. Hello and welcome. I must try and get this thing zoomed into me. It's massively far away, isn't it? Seems to be getting further away by the minute. I must ask Jade if she knows how to do that. I don't know how to do it. But anyway, welcome one and all. God bless you all. Nice to see you. I have no idea how to do this, but I just seem to be so far away. I should be a bit. That's for the fact things went again. Bear with us. We're having bother with these wires again. Probably need a new connector. It's absolutely insane. Why does it do this? It's been on for about. I've been setting the show up for 3/4 of an hour. No, and it was on. And the minute I go live, it starts going to do lally. Let's see if it goes back. This is bizarre. And I move that thing out the road because it's not going to get away. Okay. We're back again. No idea what's wrong with it. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Just keep an eye on it, Sammy. Right, welcome. God bless you, one and all. Well, let's have a wee bit of scripture before we get into this. Today, and we're in the Proverbs chapter 19, verse 23. Hear ye the Lord. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. Amen. And we know the Lord will bless us. The public reading was infallible, inspired, and inerrant word. And the people of God said, Amen. Amen indeed. I've got a phone here that I shouldn't have. Two phones. Take them away. So we'll see what goes on. But I must get that done because I just feel so far away. But there we are. Maybe I'm not. Maybe it's just my imagination. I've no idea. Anyway, we'll crack on regardless. So, as you all know, crazy stuff going on in Iran. Now, the effect it's had here immediately is heating oil, because poor wee Sammy was going to order heating oil on Friday. He could have got it for like 200 quid. And by yesterday, it went up to nearly 400 quid. So heating oil, I don't know what you call that, kerosene maybe for your oil boilers in America, doubled in 24 hours. Doubled. Now, there's no way those oil prices have filtered through yet to this country. But the oil boys have put the prices up double. So people are now paying double for that heating oil. Wonderful, brilliant, excellent, unbelievable. So poor Sammy's shocked, but she's welcome in the real world. That's what happens in the real world. It is pretty shocking, but isn't it? It's pretty shocking stuff. But that's what they've done. They've doubled it. It's a disgrace. So we'll wait and see what else is happening. But the whole thing is crazy. And it's a playlist. I remember there was a famous American a couple of years ago unveiled the plan that America and Israel were going to attack 6 countries, and they worked their way through them. And what was the common denominator? What was the common denominator of them all? None of them were on the central banking system. None of them were on the Rothschild, Epstein, little hat people's banking system. None of them. None of them were on the central banking system. And every single one of those countries have been attacked. And what I hear next, the next big target will be Turkey, because it's all part of this Greater Israel project. And that's just a fact. Whether you agree with it, you don't agree with it, that's reality. And, as these countries go down like 9 pins, you're seeing it. Now, Iran, was Iran a crazy country? Absolutely. Am I grieving that the Ayatollah and his son and his daughter and all that? I mean, it's a shame the daughter and the grandchild not all killed. Not really, because he was a very, very wicked man who launched a lot of terror attacks across the world. So I'm not really bothered in that respect. What I'm bothered about was there's a law. Ronald Reagan, after Grenada, Ronald Reagan got a law passed, which is law in the United States of America, that no office person, individual can personally do or participate in or encourage or collaborate with the killing of any other head of state or important person in a foreign government. That's a law. That's on the statute books. Ronald Reagan put it on the statute books. That's a law in America. And I would suggest that law has been broken, just busted wide open. No reference to international law, no nothing. And when countries take it upon themselves just to act as the policeman of the world and take out anybody they think is dangerous, and Iran was dangerous, but we still have a problem, because who decides who's the big chief? And it's worrying. And I'll tell you why. The 2 main sources of oil for China. Now remember China. China's the big boys. The 2 main sources of oil for China were Venezuela, gone, America's took it over, and Iran. That's their 2 main sources of oil, Venezuela and Iran. So we've just took the economic means for success away from China. Do you think China's going to go, oh, well, nothing you can do about it? Not a chance. And America now has become so powerful, so technologically advanced, and so far ahead of everybody militarily. Cut things away again. This is going to force other countries like China and Russia to sit in a room and saying, look, we're a bit frightened of this. America seems to be out of control. They're so powerful. They're so far advanced that we need to get our act together and we need to cooperate to make sure they don't go for us and to protect our national interests. And that's what's happening right now as we speak. Not just Russia and China. A lot of other countries will be sitting saying, we need to make sure we're strong enough to resist if America tries to take our natural resources away at our lifeline. And that's what's happening. So we're just building and building and building and building towards a massive world war. And that's the worrying thing. John Kopasaki said it was an executive order, not codified by Congress, yeah? Yeah, but there were always a waiver built in. Of course, but it's pretty scary. Because again, what was the excuse used? Oh, Iran, why did we have to do it now? Why couldn't it have been debated in Congress? Because, nuclear threat. I've got videos from the 1980s about Israelis shouting and bawling about nuclear threat. Benjamin Netanyahu's been on about it for 15 years. They've got an imminent, any minute now they'll have nuclear weapons. Any minute. Come on. We heard all this before, remember? Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction that could be ready in 45 minutes and wipe out the West. It's all lies. All lies. And it's the same with the nuclear thing in Iran. Back in June, Israel took out not just the nuclear facilities, took out the scientists, personally bombed their apartments, killed their kids, killed their families, everything. Scientists, civilians. That was done in June. Dozens and dozens of nuclear physicists were taken out, bombed, wiped out, gone. So this is all nonsense. There's no imminent threat. So it didn't have to be pushed through. It could have been debated in Congress as the way a democratic country is supposed to do these things and actually ask the people, do you want us to go to war here? And then the people can decide. But just done. And this is no small thing. This won't end well. This won't end well at all. It's crazy. And it's making the rest of the world really, really nervous. I mean, we all hate Iran. We know that. I can't stand Iran. But it's no good. And a lot of right-wing people are really silly. They're saying, but the women are free now. Free. The women in Iran are free. They don't have to wear head coverings anymore. They're free to be LGBTQ+. They're free to be trans. They're free to pollute their kids' minds with 72 genders. They're free to have abortions. They're free to do all of those things now. Wonderful. What progress. And how is this going to end up? And this is, I'm going to speak very blunt to my American friends. The definition of stupid is when you do the same thing over and over and over again, get terrible results, but you keep doing it. Keep doing the same thing, getting the same results, and you don't learn. Let me go through a wee list here. Vietnam didn't work out well there, didn't it? Korea didn't work out well. Vietnam didn't work out. By the way, the Brits are involved most of this as well. Afghanistan, no, didn't work very well. Syria, terrible. Iraq, terrible. Libya, terrible. Somalia, terrible. All of these countries that mainly America and Britain have intervened in. Not only have we lost, remember, not one of these conflicts we won. Not one. Every single one of them would hightail it out of there. And did it improve the people's lives? Let's just look at Iraq, for example. Saddam's a dictator. He's a dictator. All Arab countries the Saudi Arabians are dictators. They don't even vote there. But they're our best pals, aren't they? There's no democracy in Saudi Arabia. Anyway, we went in to remove Saddam because he's a bad man. How did that work out? It gave rise to Shia militias in the south, and ISIS was created out of that in the rest of Iraq. ISIS. We created ISIS. That was there. That came out of Iraq. Look at Syria. We went in and deposed al-Assad. What's happened there? An ex-ISIS commander-in-chief has now taken over the country. Who's running it? Look at Libya. We need to get rid of Gaddafi. He's a bad man, which he was. How's that worked out? We've now got ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and Al-Shabaab, three Islamic terror groups vying for power. Country's a basket case. Somalia. Look what happened to Somalia. Oh, we're getting there and depose them. That's worked out really well. Again, it's run by jihadi warlords. So every single place we went in to do this has worked out 10 times worse. And finally, Afghanistan. We're into Afghanistan, fighting the Taliban. I didn't end well. Taliban now run that country. And they've got billions of pounds worth of American heavy military equipment, which that imbecile Joe Biden left behind. Craziness. I mean, craziness. So we keep doing the same thing. Now, people are saying, but it'll be good. The Ayatollah is dead, so the people of Iran will be free. Give your head a shake. About 20 different warlords and groups will take over because Iran has got many, many ethnic groups in it. It's not just a unified country. So all of these people will start jockeying for power, and it'll be a basket case in a civil war. But hey, Israel doesn't mind that. America doesn't mind that. Britain, I suppose, doesn't even mind that. Because all these countries now are so riven with civil war and chaos, they're no threat to anybody. And that's the way it is. But they are a threat. They are a threat. There's 90 million Iranians, and there's hundreds of thousands of them in Europe, and hundreds of thousands of them spread across the world, and an awful lot of them in America. And although they all hate the Ayatollah, it's like most Iraqis hated Saddam Hussein. However, when a foreign power starts bombing your cities, it surprises you how quickly people turn. And that's what's happening. And I see a lot of Western programs showing pictures. Oh, people are celebrating in the streets. Yes, there are some. But there's millions of people in the streets going wild saying death to America, death to everybody, death to Britain. And we weren't even there. For once, we had nothing to do with it. It's crazy, folks. It really is crazy. I don't know where it's going to end. But anyway, how are we doing? Let's have a look in here. Ewan's there. How you doing? Peter Holder's there. Scott Phillips. Brian Payton. Paul Telford's there. God bless you. Westover 1314. R. Clements is there as well. Pitch Cameron. Westover. Yep. How we going? Lady Major. How you doing, sister? Nice to see you. Mitch and Sherry. Marty BFP. How you doing, Marty? Nice to see you there. John Kopasaki. John, how you doing? Nice spoke. I didn't see you for a while in there. Ah, yeah. All right, I've got that. Joseph Taylor's there as well. How you doing? Not all women wear a head cover. I know, but it's just this propaganda we get fed here. It's crazy. Even if Iran had got nuclear weapons like North Korea, Israel would probably have left them alone. Of course, more than likely. In the end, God wins. Always does. Do his fault. Scott Phillips says, absolutely. Ceremonial swords here. Get your hands in them. They're brilliant. And Roger Madison. How you doing, Roger? So there we are. Madness abounds. Who knows where it'll end? It won't be good. But, Europe's filled with about 5 million Syrian refugees with that last carry on in Syria. And the number one people who are now flooding into Britain are Afghans. There's about 600 come in a day across the channel on the boats. 600. But again, it's 40,000 come in last year on the boats illegally. 1.2 million come in legally. So let's get the priorities right. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy what's happening. And what annoys me is the poverty in America, because I tell you, if you go to Appalachia, you'll never see poverty in Europe like that. There's no place in the whole of Europe, even Eastern Europe, like Romania and Bulgaria. They're not as poor as some of the parts in the Appalachians or the Rust Belt. Unbelievable. Never seen poverty like it. So think of the money that's been spent on all these mental daft wars. That money could have been ploughed into America to build industry, to help people get out the poverty trap, to improve the infrastructure. It's just a waste of everybody's money and time. And what I get really annoyed about is our young British and American boys, our young boys and girls, get out to these damned foreign wars and losing their lives. What's in it for us? Why are we doing it? No, I don't like it. I do not. Might say same old story, Jim. We should mind our own nation. 100%. Let's look after our own countries. I mean, Britain's a basket case. Don't know if there's anything that can be done for us with that bad, to be quite honest with you. Anyway, moving on. I want to show you some pictures from Saturday. These boys we helped out, the Christian Defence Patrol people. They staged a demo the other day. It's a HMO. It's a house of multiple occupancy. Some rich guys bought a farm. Used to be owned by Camera again. It must be down there or something. Sorry about this, folks. Sammy's on hand to fiddle with it. It must be. Maybe he's taking it, putting again. I don't know. Let's see. It used to be owned by, you Americans won't know, but the Brits will know. It used to be owned by Julie Goodyear, who was Bet Lynch in Coronation Street. Big soap star. It's her old farm. And some guys bought it once they put a load of Afghans in it. So these guys were up demonstrating. So that's how we look at the activities. Here we go. That's the farm up there. So there you go. So there we go, folks. And you helped make that happen. The guys now, that wee team that we've been helping, they're going to hold a St. George's Day celebration and parade in their wee town. So we've done a great job, and I want to thank everybody that contributed to that fund, because I've got the vests, I've got the cameras, I've got the walkie-talkies, I've got the torches. It was such a wonderful thing to do. And other patriots across the country now are looking at that and going, how have you done that? So the Templars helped us. Oh, really? So there's other people now thinking, maybe we can do the same and do their own thing in their own area. So let's hope this spreads. Let's hope this spreads. It'd be fantastic. Paul Telford said, seen a clip of the Clintons today. They can't lie in bed straight. Oh, the Clintons are bad news. Evil, wicked people. Really wicked people, the Clintons. Our American friends know that. The thing is, if you cross the Clintons, you will commit suicide. You will shoot yourself 5 times in the back of the head. Because that's what happened to a guy. A guy was shot 5 times in the back of the head and they get declared suicide. Do you remember that? I mean, it's not even subtle. Shot 5. Commit suicide. You shoot yourself 5 times in the back of the head. That's what happens when you mess with the Clintons, Marion. Don't you mess with the Clintons? They'll have you. They'll have you. So there we go. I think that was great to see that. No more illegal men. Brilliant. And then our Templar flag flying there. Sammy, remember you've got to make up a bundle of Templar flags for these guys. Excellent. Very good to see. And to see all the families out, and the wee dog and all the families out, and they've got the kids out. So it's a non-threatening thing. It's not a violent bunch of maniacs. It's just nice people. So well done, folks. God bless you all. I just want to make sure you did the job right. Four in the back of the head just doesn't quite do it. I know. It's mad, isn't it? Suicide. So I suppose it's like, we call him Epstein committed suicide, really. He was under 24 hours monitor. It's just the whole thing is that, and I know, the whole thing, there's a lot of evil people about who are doing evil things. So we just have to keep away from them. Now, talk about evil crackpots. Here's a guy in Edinburgh. He's a Somali Muslim, armed with a knife, stabbed everybody up outside the school, run a rampage, shouting Allah Akbar, shouting whatever. I don't know if he was shouting Allah Akbar, he was shouting something, but nobody knows. Anyway, the police said, it's not a terrorist thing, no kind of terrorist connections to it. A Somali with knives in Scotland attacking people outside the school when the war's raging in Iran. It's no terrorist thing. I don't know. Here he is, but anyway, I don't know why he wasn't shot. It's ridiculous. So, why? I mean, that's a really rough housing estate. See if the police would have just withdrew, the locals would have come out and killed him. They should have just left them. Marty saying the Irish government wants to give up its neutrality. Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, Ireland always been neutral, staying in it. This is the pressure coming from the EU. They want to drag Ireland into wars now. And I don't mean disrespectful, but Ireland basically doesn't have much of an army, to be honest with you. I mean, they've done a thing, the CIA, and they've done a big thing, because at one point in 1969, the Irish army were talking about invading the north and taking over Newry. And they reckoned that they would only, if they arrived at 8 in the morning, they would all be dead by midday. It's just ridiculous. It's just completely nonsense. But I don't think Ireland should be giving up its neutrality. Stay away from all this stuff. It's not a big enough country to deal with the kind of losses that are going to be coming soon. And everybody's been lucky in the West, Britain and America. We've lost a few thousand fellas, haven't we, in Afghan and Iraq, but not really a lot of people. It's coming to the point now where there's going to be a war very shortly, and big players like China are not going to get involved, and we're going to end up losing 300,000 or 400,000 men. I mean, Russia's probably lost about 300,000, 400,000 men in Ukraine. They can take these losses. Our Western countries can't. Imagine if 500,000 Americans get killed in the next couple of years in some kind of conflict. It'd be chaos. Same in Britain. If we lost 50,000, 60,000 men, it'd be chaos. No government can stand it. So, but that's what's coming. If the West keeps pushing and pushing and pushing and taking the resources away from people like China, they're going to fight back. You can't punch somebody in the face and expect not to get hit back. That's what's going to happen. So, this migrant just stabbed 2 people in Edinburgh, and now he's heard in the high-rise flat laughing. You're not racist for saying millions must go. 100%. They do need to go. How that happens, I don't know, but there we go. And as the war starts raging in Iran, and Iran's been very depleted since June. They can't. There's not what they can do. They can fire these drones and that into Israel, but Israel's got an Iron Dome thing. It's very effective. But they have been hitting American bases, and I think a lot of this has been covered up from American people. I don't know if you know this. I think they've hit about at least 7 American bases and the naval fleet in Bahrain there. So they've been doing some damage, but I think it's covered up a bit. But look at the other day. This is in, I think this is in Bahrain. Have a look at this. Have another look at that. It's happening all over the Middle East right now. There's drones and missiles flying everywhere. And in fact, quite a strange thing, because the Templars, we don't tell lies, we tell the truth. And I put something up on Saturday morning. I was still in my bed when I heard this news, and I got the laptop out to have a look what's happening. And then I put a thing up, a post up warning people. And this guy contacted us on the Twitter, and he says, I follow the Templars, but you need to stop telling lies. There's nothing happening here. Everyone's fine. Now, I was watching live on television a hotel where the people in the pool panicking and jumping out the pool and all fleeing for their lives. I says, that's what I reported. This Dubai is under attack. And he says, you're telling lies. Nothing's under attack. I wish I could get a hold of him now. The airports are shut. The 2 airports have been hit. One, the big airport's been hit twice with bombs. Hotels have been blown up, big luxury hotels. There have been drones flying in and missiles left, right, and centre. This guy says, no, you're mistaken. I'm here. There's nothing going on. I wish there wasn't anything going on, but there is. And somebody told me that there's 200,000 Brits live in Dubai. Can you believe that? Or that country, United Arab Emirates, 200,000. They're all tax dodgers, you see. And it's funny because one of the leaders of Reform, Nigel Farage's party, lives in Dubai with his wife because they're tax exiles. And these are the Great White Hope. It's terrifying, isn't it? Anyway, let's see. The Irish Navy, okay, it's too small. I know, it's crazy. Joseph Taylor said that building was probably housing CIA operatives. Absolutely, no doubt. The Irish Army is defensive, and they should keep it that way. Shouldn't be sending their boys anywhere else. Yep. But these bombs have been flying all over. I mean, you're talking about nearly every country in the Middle East now is affected by this war. It's quite a thing. It's quite a thing. But it goes on. And we talk about the Ayatollah being a despot that he killed 30,000 people in the last few weeks. Well, Israel killed 70,000 women and children in Gaza. We never really got upset about that. Why have we no blitzed Benjamin Netanyahu? It's nonsense. The whole thing is nonsense. But what can you do? That's the way it is. So there's not much you can do about it. So anyway, moving on. I want to show you something that sums up our opinion of most of the British right wing. Now, people have often said to us, and I'm sure maybe you have thought to yourself, why don't the Templars go on all these big rallies that Tommy Robinson has and Britain First has? Why don't we turn up at these rallies? Well, in the past, as individuals, many of us, many hundreds of us have turned up at these rallies. And it's always the same clientele that's there. Now, you've got, in this country, there is a class structure. There's a class structure everywhere, but we've actually defined it in this country. So you get the upper class, the aristocracy and all that. Then you've got the middle class, business people and all the rest of it. Then you've got the working class, normal working Joes. But there's also the underclass. Hitler called it the Untermenschen. The underclass, which are not really part of society. They don't work. Sometimes alkies or junkies or blah, 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 blah. It is this class. Mainly, no, there's some good people go to these marches, but very few. Very few. The vast majority of them are this underclass. And I come from the hood, but class isn't a money thing. It's an attitude. It's a behaviour. And here is a typical person who goes to these marches, whether it be for Tommy Robinson or Paul Golding or any of these other so-called British right-wing groups. And this is why we don't associate with them. Have a look at this guy and listen to him. It's hilarious.
All right, mate. Can I ask you a couple of questions? What are you doing here today?
What agenda you got?
Agenda? I just wanted to ask why you're waving an Israel flag at a British march.
Ah, so would you wear an Afghanistan flag to the English march?
No?
No. Would you wear a Syrian flag to the English march?
No.
Would you wear a Hamas flag to the English march?
No.
No.
So why are you wearing an Israel flag?
It's deeper than what you're thinking, brother. You're just a young man. The Christian country we call Great Britain and England, we are Christian, yeah?
Israel's a Jewish land, though. Israel, you said Britain's a Christian country, but Israel's a Jewish country. So why have you got the Israel flag? I don't get it.
Oh, I see, right. Because Christianity and Judaism are quite related.
Well, what's this got to do with the Israel flag? I'm confused.
I don't know. You're far too complicated for me. I don't really care.
So you don't know why you're waving the Israel flag?
I do know.
Why?
I do know more than you little cunt. I'm waving the Israeli flag. If I had an IDF flag, I would be waving that against Arabs.
IDF's a terrorist organisation, though.
No, the IDF are not a terrorist
They are.
organisation.
They're killing children.
What, according to you cunt?
No, I've seen the videos. You ain't seen the videos?
How dare you call the IDF terrorist?
So, I forgot there was bad language in that. Anyway, yeah, even using that language in the street just shows you his mentality. But that creature, that imbecile, is this is the absolute demographic of the people on the Tommy marches and the people on Paul Golding's marches and the people on all of these so-called right-wing marches. That's the demographic of them. That's the educational standard of them. That's the moral standard of them. Absolute half-witted, degenerate idiots, as we say in Ireland. Balloons, fools. Unbelievable, isn't it? You ever seen anything like that in your life? You had a clue. And the guy asked him a simple question: why you got an Israel flag at an English march? Well, would you bring an Afghan flag to it? No, so why you get that? He couldn't get it. His brain was gone. As we say, he's dead from the eyebrows up. Completely gone. But that's the people who are taking to the streets. So now, Joseph Taylor said, I wouldn't be seen dead attending a Britain First rally. That's because, Joseph, you're a sensible Englishman. You're a decent, respectable, normal Englishman. I would be shocked if you were the way you had Britain First thing, of course. Crazy. Tommy is a scrounger, not half. His kid was on the other day, 16-year-old boy's on the other day, showing off 2 watches he's got. 100 grand. 100 grand in watches. 100 grand. And Tommy said, oh, he's a trader. He's 16. I don't think you're allowed on Forex or the trading platforms at 16. What a load of rubbish. But listen, on a serious note, and I was saying to Jada about this as well, I've seen this before, and God will not be mocked. And that boy could be in serious peril, because we were 16, your dad was allowing you to just spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on watches and clothes and private jet and everywhere. And all his mates are black, all his mates are ghetto guys, got me, you get me, you. That's his mates. A recipe for disaster. A recipe for disaster. I knew a man like that in Belfast, and his son was not with his dad, living it up large and died of cocaine and heroin overdose. Shocking stuff. But there we go. It took billions of dollars of propaganda to brainwash these Judaized guys. It did. It took a lot of money and a lot of years. It's never really, it's worked with me for a certain extent. A few years back, I was like, oh, anybody who was on about the Jews, I'd be like, oh, please, come on, give us a break. And I was never in favour. I was never a Zionist, but I was just like, oh, look, the Jews can't be responsible for all this. But when you look into it, yeah, they are. It's frightening. There's a thing here actually I've got. This guy done it in America some years ago, with cultural Marxism and how these people have done this. Because every time you hear the word Marxist, just replace it with Jew. Because Karl Marx, Engels, the Bolsheviks, they're all Jewish. I don't know why people are frightened to say that. But have a look. This will give you a better idea of the cultural Marxism, the long march through the institutions. And they've now captured their institutions. They've now captured them. So have a look, and this is where it all comes from.
So, on the stage of demoralization, obviously there are tendencies in each society, in each country, which are going to opposite direction from the basic moral values and principles. To take advantage of these movements, to capitalize on them, is the main purpose of the originator of subversion. So we have religion, we have education, we have social life, we have power structure, we have labor relations, unions, and finally we have law and order.
What Gramsci had said was that we have this cultural hegemony, and this thing is like keeping out communism because it's like a force field. He says the only way to beat that is to get inside the key cultural institutions that generate this cultural hegemony, create a counter hegemony from within and break them apart. This is cultural Marxism. And so cultural hegemony, he said, has to be beaten by infiltrating the major cultural institutions, and he named 5. Those are religion, family, education, media, and law, with a special emphasis put on education.
Education. Distract them from learning something which is constructive, pragmatic, efficient. Instead of mathematics, physics, foreign languages, chemistry, teach them history of urban warfare, natural food, home economy, your sexuality, anything, as long as it takes you away.
For the next 5 years, high school students in Oregon will not need to perform proficiency tests showing mastery of reading, writing, or math in order to graduate.
I'm teaching children social studies that's not in our curriculum, teaching them things about how to be an anti-racist. I taught them about protesting. I taught them about Black Lives Matter. I taught them about Black Lives.
I'm basically applying critical theory to educational practice as critical pedagogy.
I see teaching as a very political act. When we are engaging with our students, whether it's on social justice issues.
To infuse issues around race and culture and class into the subject matter. And as a science teacher, I have to do that intentionally.
Do you really, as a science teacher? You're talking about race and culture? Really, as a science teacher? I thought it was all about chemicals and experiments. I went to science class. I loved it. You were blowing things up in the Bunsen burner and making things. But when I get taught critical race theory, I can assure you that. But these people are right. Teaching is, as one of them said, a political act. You better believe it. And here's the crazy, stupid attitude the right-wing people go, oh, the kids should make their own mind up. No. No, it's your duty as a parent. Look, if your kid goes into the cupboard and takes out a bottle of bleach, you're going to say, let the kid make their own mind up. They want to drink bleach instead of drinking Kool-Aid. That's fine. Let them, well, maybe the same thing. You know what I mean? They're not going to drink milk, but they're going to drink a bottle of bleach. Okay, and leave them be. No. That's stupid because you know that's going to harm them. It's going to rot their insides. So will communism and cultural Marxism and atheism will rot them inside. Nothing surer. And it'll kill them quicker than cancer. But these parents go, oh, it's up to them. Let them make their own mind up. I allowed my children freedom to make their own. If they want to be religious, fine. If they don't. They're getting brainwashed 24/7 at school, through the TV, through TikTok, through YouTube, through the music industry, through the films and videos and gaming and all of that is just assaulting their brains with liberal garbage agenda to destroy them as human beings and to destroy our society. And parents are going, well, I'll let them make their own mind up. They never made their own mind up. You gave everybody else a free ride straight into your kid's brain. We know our position. No. Education is a political act. Therefore, we must take control of that political act and inject into our children our values. Christianity, number one. No compromise. Christianity, period. End of story. No discussion. And if the kid says, well, I'm not really into that, beat them until it is in them. I never had a choice to go to church. My mother would say, right, let's go. We're going to church. There was no choice. I didn't say, I don't feel like it today, actually. I think I'm having a sort of paradoxical thought on religion and philosophy. Grab me the ear. You're going to church. And if I ever said, I don't know about this church anymore. Bosh! That cannot even be discussed in this house. There will be no discussion on it. I remember once I tried to bring up, because I couldn't understand the virgin birth, for example. I said, I don't understand this virgin birth thing. And my mother had a hold of me. Says, you don't need to understand it. Just believe it. No apologetics. No explanation. No deep theological conversation around the dinner table. Grabbed by the throat and told, you don't need to understand it. Believe it. You don't understand the sun, but it's there. It's real. So is the virgin birth. End of. Don't need to talk about it anymore. If you mention it again, you'll get slapped. So it should be. To spend too much time navel-gazing and philosophizing and theorizing about things. Just tell your kid, that's how it is. That's the end of the matter. It's craziness. Don't understand it. We had the 10 planks in the USA before recruits. Bolsheviks, absolutely. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. But this, we need to be aware of this as a political act, and we need to understand that, and we need to make sure our kids are brainwashed the right way. Faith, family, honour. That's it. If you install that in your kids, you've done your job as a parent. You know, none of my kids went to uni. Thank you, Jesus. I've done my best to make sure none of my kids went to uni. Done my very best, and none of them went to uni. And my kids thick? Of course they're not. You've met some of my kids. They're smart. There's nothing wrong with them. Met me, Sammy. Nothing wrong with them. But if they went to uni, they'd have been sitting with green hair, bones through their noses. Goodness knows what sexuality they would be or what gender they think they would be. But I just wouldn't have tolerated that. So I didn't want my kids going anywhere near uni, and they never went, and I'm very glad. And now I've got 12 grandkids, and in the will of God, more on the way. And people are now saying, I think you've done the right thing. Because people are coming out of uni here with hundreds of thousands of pounds of debt, student debt, for Mickey Mouse degrees that are useless. Sociology, urban conflict. What good's that to you? And you've got 200 grand debt you've got to pay until you're 35-year-old. It's nonsense. Nonsense. I've got one of my sons is a plumber. Sammy done refrigeration, engineering stuff. It works in here now. Our Alice, she's got 5 kids. It's 5 sons. She looks after them. And our Sarah Jane's got 2 kids, but she also works in the butcher shop. Job done. And all my kids are right wing. Our Bubba thinks she's no right wing, didn't she? Bubba thinks she's a wee bit of a bohemian, didn't she? Yeah. She thinks she's bohemian. She does things like that, but she collects flowers and does all that stuff. She's cleans the church and all that. She's no bohemian. She's right wing, but she doesn't like to admit it. But anyway, so there you go. Mitch Cameron says, keep our kids out so-called public school system at all costs. Absolutely, at all costs. You know, people phone me up all the time and say, oh, you never believe that they're teaching in my kids' school. They're getting the kids to bow down and do Muslim prayers and that. I say, I'm not surprised in the slightest. Well, I'm surprised that you're a nationalist. Why on earth are you putting your kids into the public school system? That's what I'm surprised about. Look, you don't blame a dog for barking. It's what they do. So it's like dropping your kids off every morning at a well-known paedophile's house for them to babysit for you and then complaining that they're getting interfered with. That's what they do in these schools. They brainwash the kids. You know that. So stop taking your kids into these places. Stop doing it. It's silliness. Look after your own kids. Provide your own education for the kids. Do not put your kids into the state schools and your kids will turn out fine. If you put them into state schools, you get every possibility your kids are going to come out with green hair, one of 72 genders, a bone in their nose, and becoming a very great fan of Jeremy Corbyn or Kamala Harris or Che Guevara or all three. You know what I'm saying? We need to keep it real and do our own thing. Anyway, moving on. It's frightening, isn't it? Yeah, I found something the other day there. Wait a minute. I'll show you this first. Wait a minute. I'll show you this first. Because I don't know if Tom's in today, but he likes a wee march. Every time I put a marching video from him, he's not in. Anyway, you'll be able to see it later. Oh no, the playback's busted again and purged for a wee while. We're trying to fix it. We're nearly fixed it. But let me show you this. This is a wee local band up in the Maiden City marching. It's very dangerous places. You'll see they're flanked with police because we're marching deep behind enemy lines. We're outnumbered in that city about 91 by communists. But once a year we go up there and march because it's our ancient citadel. It's taken over with them now. But it's our ancient citadel. We march there every year. Me and Sammy go up, family go up, and we march. And it's our ancient walled city. And this is the boys marching out, coming out the gates. And you'll see the boys at the front dressed up as the World War I soldiers. And that's very nice. But have a wee look at this. Have a wee look. Lighten the tone a bit because it's heavy, isn't it? Oh, that's Iran and Israel and bombing and drones and ballistic missiles. My goodness, we need a break, don't we? So I'm just glad this summer's coming because in this month, the marching season starts and everybody all over this beautiful land of Ulster starts marching again right through to August. Hallelujah. Have a look. You see how many cops had to flank that band just to get them through that wee tiny. This is where some of our people live, the right wing people, but in behind those walls is the enemy. But see how many police had to be there just to get them through that? It was maybe 100 yards, 120 yards. They'd all those policemen to try and force them through there, else there'd be a massive fight. In the old days, I used to go up there, and sometimes there wasn't as many police, and there was fights. We were rolling about the streets with people, fighting and brawling and tearing and howking and biting, gouging. And in fact, a funny story, just where that bridge was, the other side of that bridge, I was walking down and we had some marshals, this is our own security people. And this guy next to me, who was walking with his vest on, he was a marshal. I looked at him, I thought, hey, is this guy? And to me then, he was an old boy, he was about 60 odd, and I thought, he's ancient, he was he going to do if he's been attacked with people? And just as he said that, was a bit of hullabaloo, and a ball comes spinning through the air, and I just looked and seen it. But in a split second, I couldn't react. I was too, and this old guy that I've been saying, who's he? He just went, grabbed it, flipped it around, and threw it back into the rioters. I thought, that's why he's a marshal. He was like a ninja. He was like a 65-year-old ninja. I couldn't believe it. He just grabbed the bottle out of midair, flipped it around, and threw it back. And it was coming right for my nose. Unbelievable. So, never slag the old boys. Some old boys will surprise you, because I was a young man then. I was in my 30s, and I thought, what's this old boy going to do? Oh, I tell you, I had to eat my words. God bless him. Roger Madison says, public schools in the 1950s said a prayer, Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah, absolutely. How things have changed, you better believe it. John Coppus, actually, we still did that in the early 90s, yeah. You can't even make them stand. Listen, when I went to school, all my school teachers were ex-army. There was no women. It was all men with the big mortarboards. You see it in England, the English schools with the capes on, the big Geneva gowns on. And we stood up in the morning, and we're all told, about turn, and we all faced the back wall. And on the back wall, up the top was a picture of the Queen. And underneath it was a big map of the world, all the bits that Britain used to control in red. And I said, look at that. That's the empire. Right. And we said first of all, we said a prayer. And then we turned around, faced the wall, and we'd all stand there, hands down by side, stand to attention, and we sang God Save the Queen. There you go. And when I went to high school, same. Every morning assembly, we sang a hymn, and then God Save the Queen. Then we all turned around, and on the back wall was all the names of the boys for that school who died in the 2 world wars, and it was a big wall, and we'd all to bow to that wall in honour of the boys who never come back. It's all gone now. But that installed into me a sense of patriotism, a sense of belonging, a sense of continuity, that I was just one of many, and it was all for the greater good. Look at all these guys that went to school, young guys, and went and died to keep our country free. It was all embedded into me in the school, and I got it at home as well, and I got it at the church, and I was in the boys' brigade, and I got it 24/7, and that's why it turned out like this. Thank God. I'm very blessed, very blessed. So that's the thing I wanted to show you. What I've got for the end slate tonight, I tried to get one, but it was too long. I was trying to show you the end slate. It was Leonard Skinner at 1974 or 70. Was it 76? I don't know. Somewhere in America, hundreds of thousands of pure, not a black face anywhere, all white kids. They were playing Freebird. I don't know if that's appropriate, maybe for the Templars, but the whole thing was the age, the demographics. There was nobody over about 21. They were all white. The women were reasonably dressed, but the excitement and the joy and the energy in that white American good old boys culture was unbelievable. I watched it last night with tears in my eyes. I thought, look at those people. Look at the joy. Look at the joy. And behind them, the big Dixie flag. And the joy and the energy levels amongst them young people. There's nobody there whinging about, I've got anxiety. I've got this. Nah, these young people were wild. You remember the way young people used to be, the way we were? Who heard anybody 17 or 18 having anxiety? Seriously, did you ever hear it in your life? Or having an allergy? Only Woody Allen and his crowd did allergies. But you know this, I'm feeling a bit depressed. Young people used to be like, indestructible, the world is ours. What's next? They would drink, smoke, fight, roar and tear and stay up for days, things away again. And never a care in the world. But now, you see a crowd now, they're all pasty-faced, half dying, or fat lumps and overweight. And what I noticed about this crowd, there was not a girl in there overweight. Not one. I think it's coming back on. Let me see. It's back on again. Sorry about this. But there was nobody overweight. All the young girls were very, very slim and attractive and very nice. But it was too long. It was too long to put on. It was too long. So there we go. Nick Griffin's in. Remember to join me on next one tomorrow. I need to sort this camera. It's driving me daft. So there we go. El Gado. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. It's driving me daft. Yes, they're all physically fit. Wow, you want to see the crowd? Everybody's as fit as a flea. And I just thought, I remember when young people were like that, because I was of that generation. I'm slightly younger than that. That would be my older sister's generation. But my goodness, we were the same. Just the joy of it. There was nobody sitting with, I'm on nerve tablets or I'm on depression tablets. None of that. People just lived and couldn't get. Can you remember it when you were young? I didn't even want to go to sleep. Can I tell you that? I used to resent going to sleep when I was 17, 18, because I just wanted to live and I had to go to sleep. So I thought, right, I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up as early as I can because there's so much I want to do. There's so much I want to see. There's so much I want to experience. I was just sucking in life. There was nothing about being depressed. And, my dad died and all that stuff. Heavy stuff. But I was still just, I want life. I want to taste life. Where's that all gone? It's just TikTok and phones. And it's destroyed, it's stripped the joy out of our young people's lives. And we need to be sympathetic towards that. It's not their fault. Do you understand? It's not their fault. Yes, they're a bunch of pasty-faced weasels and they couldn't pull the skin off a rice pudding, but it's not their fault. They've been infested with this hideous cultural Marxism that's robbed them of any sense of history, identity, duty, religion, anything. They've been robbed of all this. So as older people, we need to really go out on a limb and try and bring these young people in from the cold and show them that life's a wonderful place. There'll be plenty of time to be depressed when you're 60. Plenty of time. Mike says, it was the last of the boomers, and it shows. Yep, absolutely. Yep, those Gen Z, X6 because seed oil and 5G. Scott Phillips, you're right. They're ruined now. But it's not their fault, so we need to go a bit easy on them. I know I'm sometimes very critical of the young folk, but it's not their fault. This has been imposed on them, and they've been filled up with chemicals and vaccines and jags and fake food. No wonder they're the way there. But I couldn't put it on because it was too long. I didn't want to put it on. But maybe I'll play it one day. It's like 14 minutes long. Freebird Live. I don't know if you know it. I'm sure you do, but it's brilliant. So there you go. Mobile phones were gone as well. So I've got a couple of wee bits. I've got this... I found this old recruitment video we used to put out. Jenny, you remember this? And if you want it, we'll put it up in the Discord and whatnot so you can download it and send it up. Have a wee look at this. This was made years ago, but I think it's brilliant. And it's the voice of Charlie Chaplin at the end. Have a look.
We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite.
Brilliant name. However, Charlie Chaplin was a communist and a Jew. He was a Jewish communist from London. But anyway, that was one of my favourite recruitment things. I forgot all about it. I've just stumbled across it. I thought I must show the boys this. Mitch Cameron says, I will remember that video. Yes. I forgot about it, but it's brilliant, isn't it? So, yeah. So I'm not going to labour on this war now because I think we've heard enough of it and fed up with it. Telly's full of it. want everybody to pray that sense would prevail, the decent men would be elevated, and stupid men and bloodthirsty men like Lindsey Graham and all that would be denigrated. We need some sense and decency injected into our societies, don't we? So it's terrible, the whole thing. I mean, the Ayatollah was a bad man, really, really bad man. The regime in that country is not good. But what we are plotting to replace it with is probably even worse. So that's it. Let's just no bother too much. I can't be bothered with it. It's too much. I'm fed up with it all. So I'm going to let you hear these people before I'll come back again, and then we'll finish with the Ensley, which is fantastic. You'll really enjoy it. But in the meantime, have a look at this crowd. These are beautiful. I think that's that mob they sing in the different languages, the 2-3 girls and a boy, they family. Harper Day.
I think they are.
I think they're family, or 3 of them anyway are family. But this is beautiful. Listen to this. And this is for Big John Kopasagi, our Orthodox pal. Have a look at this. This is your team.
Ven Señor Jesús, Maranatha. Ven Señor Jesús, Maranatha. Ven Señor Jesús, Maranatha. Si ven pronto, Maranatha. Ven Señor Jesús, Maranatha. Ven Señor Jesús, Maranatha. Ven Señor Jesús, Maranatha. Si ven pronto, Maranatha.
Come Lord Jesus,
Maranatha.
Come Lord Jesus,
Maranatha.
Come Lord Jesus,
Maranatha.
Come Lord Jesus,
Maranatha. Come Jesus, Maranatha. Come Jesus, Maranatha. Come Jesus, Maranatha. Come Jesus, Maranatha. Viens Seigneur Jésus, Maranatha. Viens Seigneur Jésus, Maranatha. Viens Seigneur Jésus, Maranatha. Viens Seigneur Jésus, Maranatha.
Vieni Signor Gesù,
Maranatha.
Vieni Signor Gesù,
Maranatha.
Vieni Signor Gesù,
Maranatha.
Vieni Signor Gesù, Maranatha.
Lejba giù Gesù, Maranatha. Lejba giù Gesù, Maranatha. Lejba giù Gesù, Maranatha. Lejba giù Gesù, Maranatha. Porom Yeshua, Maranatha. Porom Yeshua, Maranatha. Porom Yeshua, Maranatha. Porom Yeshua, Maranatha.
Гряди Господи,
Maranatha.
Гряди Господи,
Maranatha.
Гряди Господи,
Maranatha.
Гряди Господи, Maranatha.
Irhu Kyrie, Maranatha. Irhu Kyrie, Maranatha. Irhu Kyrie, Maranatha. Irhu Kyrie, Maranatha. Veni Domine, Domine Iesu, Maranatha. Veni Domine, Maranatha. Sito veni, Maranatha. Veni Domine, Maranatha. Maranatha. Veni Domine, Maranatha. Sito veni, Maranatha. Veni Domine, Maranatha. Veni Domine, Sito veni Maranatha, veni Domine Maranatha, veni Domine Maranatha, veni Domine Maranatha, sito veni
Was that no absolutely beautiful? What voices. And you know, it's funny, Roger Massey said we agree with the Orthodox in a lot. We do, we disagree with a lot as well. But when I go to Serbia, and I spend a lot of time in Serbia, as you know, I used to go to this wee Orthodox church and just sit there and do my devotions and all the rest of it. And I was talking to an Orthodox guy, and he said there's a form of Orthodoxy. It's quite aesthetic, it's quite stripped back like Calvinism. And there's one church in Belgrade that's like that. So I started going to that. And there is a sort of subculture within the Orthodox faith, which is very, very, very Calvinistic. It's very stripped back. And their churches are just very bare. Normally Orthodox churches gold and everything. These are just bare. And I recognised right away. I thought I felt comfortable in here. Just bare. I mean, bare. Nothing there at all. It's like a big empty barn. But a beautiful church, but just empty. And he said, yeah. And a lot of Serbs are into that. And they're the ones that wear the T-shirt. I don't know if you've ever seen them. It's a big skull and crossbones with welcome death. Yeah, that's the guys that hang about. I quite liked it. So there is a form of that in Orthodoxy. There's also a form of almost Calvinism within Catholicism. There's some parts of Catholicism that's very, very cultish. Augustine. You know, the people who really are right into Augustine, they're similar because Augustine was into the predestination, and there's some Catholics also like that. So we're not that different. People have just emphasized certain items, Catholics, Orthodox, Protestants. You know, that's it. But there's a lot of people now who masquerade as Protestants, but they're not. I mean, you see Kenneth Copeland, all these crackpots that running about, and that madwoman White who was in the White House. They're not Protestants. I don't know what they're just crazies. Please don't associate them with us. We're going to start calling them Orthodox. We'll start calling them Catholics. They're nothing. They're just crackpots. They're loonies. So they're nothing. But anyway, what a beautiful, beautiful voices those people had. The skull and crossbones is an official Orthodox icon. Maybe Russia. Yeah, the Serbs all wear it. They all wear it. And it's welcome death. It's like a strange thing. And there's people in the mountains called what do you call them people in the mountains? The Chechens. The Chechens, they wear the big beards and the crosses. And during the Balkans War, the British army were in there and they said, these people are really crazy. You can't deal with them. They don't wear any bulletproof vests at all because they don't believe in it. They just say God will protect them. And they were like the fiercest fighters in that whole conflict. If they held a town, you ain't getting it back. The British said that, we ain't getting in there because these people are there. They've all got the big beards and the big crosses, and they said they don't surrender. They're just wild. So we like them, and we know some Chechens. I left Sammy when someone over there, and he was only 10, and I didn't tell his mum. But the minute I arrived there, I was going on a mission down to Kosovo, and I left him in a flat in Serbia with a Chechen, a mad Chechen. But he was all right. He looked after you, didn't he? He talks to him every week now. He was only a wee boy at the time, but then he phoned his mum and said, "Dad's left me." That went down well, you can imagine. He once says, fun fact, Roman Emperor Nicephorus was an ascetic Orthodox who slept in a hair shirt every night. Oh dear, there's a lot of that. Anyway, I'm going to leave these now. With this wonderful piece of Americana. It's not Leonard Skinner. It's the brothers, not because a lot of them died in that plane crash, very, very sadly. But these are the brothers, and I've played this before. It's one of my favourite. It's a rock song, but it's also a hymn. Simple Man. If you've never heard it before, I don't know where you've been living in a cave or something. But if you have heard it, just listen to it again and listen to the words. And a lot of these boys are devout Christians, and this is a strange thing for Catholics and Orthodox. They don't really understand that kind of Southern Protestant mentality, where they're sometimes drinking whiskey and fighting wild and rough boys, but they love the Lord with all their hearts. So never look down your nose at these people. They're good people. They're my people. And they're good at music. We're the Negroes of the white world. The Ulster Scots, the Hillbillies. We're the Negroes of the white world. We can sing and dance like nobody. And we're fond of a wee bit of violence now and again as well. But anyway, they're good fellas, and I want you to enjoy this. So I'm going to leave you with this simple mandolina skinning. God bless you all. Nick will be here tomorrow. Please join him. I should be back with you on Thursday if the good Lord preserves me, and Sunday also. So until then, remember, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Do as vote. Let's see if I can work this now.
Mama told me when I was young, come sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely, oh baby, to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. Ah, yeah. I'll be your simple man. Oh, take your time. Don't live too fast. Troubles will come, oh, and they will pass. Go find a woman, oh baby, and you'll find love. Vamos out, man. And don't forget, son, there is someone up above. What do you say? And be a simple kind of man. Oh, be something you love and understand. Oh, baby, be simple. Be a simple man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? God bless the simple man. Forget your lust for rich man's gold. All that you need, oh, is in your soul. Oh, you can do this, oh baby, if you try. Y'all come to us. All that I want for you, my son, is be satisfied real loud and be a simple kind of man. Oh, be something you love and understand. Oh, baby, be simple. Be a simple man. Oh, won't you do this for sanctuary.